Let you all open all your three eyes.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nithyanandam, let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures: no photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions: please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you, due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you, out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I've added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift. Playing with life. Playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagwan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion, and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha, Radhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness, is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation. Not just creation getting created. Even sustenance need to be created. Destruction need to be created. And pulling out of delusion need to be created. Liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trubhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase. Ishana Murti as 5 phase. Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase. Agora Murti has 5 phase. Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase. Agora Murti has his 5 face. Vamadeva Murti has his 5 face. Satyojata Murti has his 5 face. Ishana Murti has his 5 face. All these 5 Murtis, five faces put together is 25 faces of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient Enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas, are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time capsuling, decoding, spreading, and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. First experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting, the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas form the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. As Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. When you choose your Guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness, Nithyananda Paramashivam, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars, and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees, and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measured, measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state.
Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati for the power of raising the size of the object. Mahima power, Ashta Maha Shaktis. Powerful cognition from Bhagwan Satsang from Bhagavad Gita decoded.
There is a possibility you may fail, because when you just have faith and don't have the courage to experiment with the truth, you will go to the restaurant, read the menu card and go away. You may miss eating. You may never taste the food. You may never experience it. But when you have Shraddha, with sincerity, there is no chance of you missing the truth. Person can never miss when he has got Shraddha, with sincerity. Here, Krishna explains, gives the all his emphasis on Shraddha. After the 16 chapters of teachings, now he has nothing new to add. He said whatever can be said. He has explained all the 7 layers. In the 14th chapter, he started with Gunatraya Vibhaga, all the 3 gunas of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Then in the Purushottama Yoga, he explained the causal layer, the engrams, engraved memories, and the deeper level of cosmic and nirvanic body is explained in the 16th chapter, Daivasura Sambat Vibhaga Yoga. The ego are divine, demon are divine, you are me. Whether our life should be centered on the attitude of me, or the attitude of you. The root cause is explained in the 16th chapter. Now he comes to 17th chapter, Shraddhatraya. Nothing more need to be added. Whatever can be said is expressed. Now all we need is Shraddha. If somebody has had a good feast, full, just like a house full, stomach full, all he needs is hygiene to digest. Same way, now Krishna has given a beautiful feast, spiritual feast to Arjuna. Now he gives hygiene to digest the whole thing and enjoy. This whole chapter is hygiene. He emphasizes, his whole emphasis on Shraddha, honesty, truthfulness, straightforwardness. We may think, why one full chapter just for Shraddha? Please understand, we all invariably, 100%, we miss enlightenment only in this one subject, Shraddha. Let me be very clear, it is not that we don't know all these truth which Krishna is speaking. Please be very clear, all of us know whatever Krishna is speaking. All these 16 days, whatever Krishna spoke, all of us know. It is not that we don't know. Then why we have not become Krishna? We miss this one thing, Shraddha. That's the only thing. Please be very clear, our problem is not that we don't know. Actually, our problem is we know too much. We know too much and we are not able to digest it. Vivekananda says beautifully, instead of knowing the whole library, just know 5 concepts. Just 5 concepts. And with Shraddha, experiment with that 5 concepts. Let that 5 concepts become your life. That is enough. Nothing else is necessary. Instead of having the whole library in your head, just have 5 concepts in your heart. Here, Arjuna is emphasizing, that Krishna is emphasizing the importance of Shraddha. How Shraddha can transform your whole life, and only Shraddha can transform. Understand? Whatever you believe, you may believe even in atheism, no problem. But you have Shraddha, sincerity to that faith, to that concept, I tell you, you will achieve the ultimate. There are so many people who achieved God, who achieved the truth, even through the path of atheism. Buddha himself, he never spoke about God. He never spoke about God. But not only he has become enlightened, thousands of people enlightened, got enlightenment because of Buddha. And in the latest days, J. Krishnamurti, no God, even mention of God is not there in his whole philosophy, but great enlightened master who just radiated enlightenment. And the same way, there are so many masters who became enlightened. George Gurdjieff, he became enlightened. No idea of God, no concept of God. What you believe is not important. How intense you are is really important. see, Mahatma Gandhi, we call him Mahatma just because he is intense in whatever he believed. He was sincere to the core. Whatever he believed, he experimented with truth. That's why he calls his life, autobiography, as experiments with truth. He experimented with the truth. He allowed the truth to work on himself. He worked with the truth. Working with the truth is what I call sincerity. Not just listening, not just reading, not just believing, working. Straight away, executing them, experimenting them, and courage to play with these truths. I always tell people, meditation and gambling both needs courage. For gambling you need courage. For meditation also you need courage. You will have all doubts. Meditation is the ultimate gambling. With ordinary gambling, you gamble only with money. In meditation, you gamble with your ego. You gamble with your whole being. But one thing, in this meditation gambling, if you lose, you will win. Only losers win in this game. In the ordinary gambling, the more you get, you win. In the meditation gambling, when you put your ego at stake, you win the whole game. You win the whole game. You put your whole ego at stake. Spiritual life needs courage. That is why Vivekananda says the spiritual people, he calls his disciples as Dhiraha. Dhira means the person who is courageous, who needs courage. You may think, why spiritual needs courage? The spiritual life needs courage. For spiritual life, we need to be silent. No, spiritual life needs courage to experiment with these truths. We hear so much, we heard so much in last 16 days. So many different teachings, so many different understandings, so many different techniques. We heard everything. Only if you have courage to experiment with them, it can help your life. It can transform your life. Otherwise, it can add a little more weight to your head, that's all. Please understand, if you receive them and store them in your head, you will have more head weight. Nothing else. Now, you will tell, I know Gita. I know Gita. There are some books which just cannot be read, which needs to be experimented. Gita is the book which needs to be experimented. You need to experience it. See, for example, if you ate too much and if you are not able to digest it, naturally what will you do? You will vomit. You will have stomachache and vomit. Same way, if you hear all these things and if you don't experience it, if you don't digest them and make them as experience, you will have headache and you will catch people and start vomiting all these things on them. You will catch people and start vomiting all these things on them. Please be very clear. Unless we have sincerity, unless we start experimenting with these truths, listening to all these truths is dangerous. Please be very clear. I am going to one more step. Here I say, if we don't practice, listening to these truths are dangerous. You may ask why? Because now, by and by, after listening so many days, all these truths, you will start hallucinating that you know. That you know, you know. Hallucinating that you know without knowing is the most dangerous game. Most dangerous game. Never, never, never do that game. I was telling, spiritual life needs courage, needs sincerity, needs the consciousness of dhira. A small story which happened in a great master's life called Dakshinamurti Swamigal. He lived in Tamil Nadu, South India, near a place called Tiruvarur. A great saint, a story, not story, it's a history. His story. It is his story, history. An incident from his life. When he was alive, one poet, inspired by his presence, inspired by this master who experienced his presence, he wrote a song called Bharani. Bharani means it is a style of poetry. 1,000 songs will be written. But the rule is only if somebody kills 1,000 elephants, he is qualified for that song. If he kills 1,000 elephants in the war and shows his courage and power, only then the song will be written about him. Here, this poet, because he was inspired and he experienced the master's presence, he simply wrote that song on the saint. He wrote 1,000 songs in the Bharani style, a special style which is offered only to a person who killed 1,000 elephants in war. This poet sang 1,000 songs in Bharani tune for this Dakshinamurti Swamigal. The king, he was also considered to be Bharani. I don't know whether he really killed 1,000 elephants or just gave some money to some poet. He is also Bharani. Somebody sang Bharani on him also. Suddenly one day in the court, out of ego and pride, he was telling, I am the only Bharani in this whole country, in this whole region. One poet got up and said, no king, you are wrong. There is one more person who is Bharani in this country called Dakshinamurti Swamigal. One of your own court poet who is your own court poet, who stays in your court, he sang Bharani about him. He is also Bharani. This king's ego was deeply hurt. He said, what? Who is the person, one more Bharani in this country? Get him here. Poet says, no, he is a beggar. He will not come. Please be very clear. Beggars can never be forced. You can never force homeless people. You can force anybody to do what you want, but you can never force homeless person. Because he has no desire. You can't do anything about him. As long as he has got some desire, he will oblige the social system. You can't do anything about him. He says, I don't want anything. He neither cares for your name, nor cares for the home, or cares for the fame, or the security, nothing. You cannot bind him. He says he's a beggar, he's a Swami. We cannot bring him. then his ego is deeply hurt. What? For a beggar Bharani, who is the fool who sang that song? Call him. Immediately the poet was brought. King asked, fool, how dare you sing Bharani on a beggar? Poet says, O king, please forgive me. Before using any words, before abusing that master, it will be nice if you come and see him once. King says, what? You are advising me? Tomorrow morning your head will be cut. That is the usual trend. Straight away violence. You see, only idiots will straight away enter into violence. When you can't behave intelligent way, when you don't know the truth, and when you don't have enough energy to convince the other person through truth, you take sword. See, throughout the history of the Eastern religions, whether it is Buddhism or Hinduism, they never converted anybody with sword because they had intelligence. They always converted people only through logic, analyzing, convincing the other person through truth. For example, if Shankara and Mandana Mishra, both of them have different views, they don't fight with each other. Shankara doesn't say, if you don't convert into Vedanta, I will kill you. No. They both sit together and analyze their whatever they know. It's a loving discussion. See the beauty. Shankara and Mandana Mishra are discussing. Judge is Mandana Mishra's wife. Mandana Mishra's wife is judge. Then what beautiful loving atmosphere it would have been. Will you believe somebody's wife and make judge? Never. And here, Shankara makes Mandana Mishra's wife as judge, Bharati. She is judge. And Devi, she is taking the post of judge. And Mandana Mishra and Shankara are discussing. And finally, Bharati gives a judgment for Shankara.
Bhagavan spoke about authenticity. Now, with that powerful cognition, let's go to the Shastra Pramana.
5.76 to 78. Maranam ghādyate tena sakenapi na ghādyate tasya syat paramasiddhe animadi guna prada vayussannachadate dehe rasavriddhir bhavet dhruvam आकाशपनकजगल्पीयूषमपि वर्धते मरणं खाद्यते तेन सकेनापि न खाद्यते तस्य स्यात् परमासिद्धिर् अनिमादिगुणप्रदा वायुः सनचरते देहे रसवृद्धिर्भवेत् ध्रुवम् आकाशपनकजगलपीयूषमपि वर्धते.
Shastra Pramana are eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures. Shastra Pramana, Shiva Samhita 5.7678. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, death is eaten by him, he is eaten by none. He manifests the highest powers such as Anima, Lahima, Mahima, etc. The Vayu, the wind energy, moves equally throughout his body. The juice of his body also are increased. Rasa Vriddhi, the nectar exuding from the ethereal lotus, also increase in him. So beautiful. Bhagavan is talking about authenticity. One whole chapter he says it on Shraddha, authenticity. Authenticity is where it opens up the depth dimension. Bhagavan always says, Pusala Nainar and his king both were building the temple for Lord Shiva. The Hridayeshwar that Pusala built in his depth dimension was so authentic that Lord Shiva was really impressed that he went and he said, I want to be there for the inauguration of Pusala Naina's temple. To the king also he said, this is the temple I want to be, and not the beautiful, huge temple that the king had built. So the king wanted to know, who is this? Who actually built the temple and where did he build? And then they found out he built in his heart. It was so authentic. The authenticity is what is the depth dimension which opens into the next state of consciousness. Authenticity is how we break the whole thing. Death is eaten by none. He is eaten by none. Happens only when we break our boredom and tiredness and ferociously stand up against the patterns and understand that only Paramashiva's space is real. No other strength can be bigger than Paramashiva's space. Only who stands up to that authenticity really manifests as reality. Such a powerful cognition that Bhagavan is giving all of us, reminding us that how authenticity manifests as powers. Now we'll go to the Apta Pramana. The history of Manakancharar, how he was so authentic to serve Paramashiva, just surrender to Paramashiva on any occasion. Manakanchara Nayanar was having her daughter in marriage. That time Shiva disguised himself and want to bring out his dedication when he came as a sadhu and he asked for daughter's hair on the day of her marriage when she was just going to about get married. And the father did not say anything, nor the daughter said anything. Simply they cut the hair and gave it to the sadhu immediately. And because of such dedication, authenticity, Shiva and Parvati blessed them. And after that, her hair grew so beautiful, much longer than before. He was such a dedicated father that he did not think twice, but dedication, authenticity to the sadhu is the only way of existence. He only knows that Paramashiva is the ultimate. Anybody who comes as Paramashiva, as the sadhu, we have to oblige them. This is from Periya Puranam, and it is in the reference poetry 885-901. Apta Pramanas are the rishis, munis, avatar, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have experienced all these powers, time-tested and verified the signs of power manifestation. Here, beautifully, he is demonstrating how he is ready to go any level beyond to break his societal conditioning, his ego, arrogance, everything, just to surrender to Lord Shiva whatever he asks, who has come down as the sadhu, and simply shows his deep love of Paramashiva's space in him and manifest as reality. Now let's go to Atma Pramana. Atma Pramana are the Leelas of Bhagavan. He himself beautifully narrates.
To do. There are some people only. This is the logic with which they function. And it's okay. At least they function. See, fundamentally, I am doing something which is unprecedented, to tell you honestly, which was never done earlier. So the product I am delivering also is unprecedented. So the integrity I demand also is unprecedented. The kind of a whole life need to be just opened and intensified. Kind of an intense connection I had with Arunagiri Yogeshwara. Even with that connection, it took 9.5 months to fully download the whole thing and to fully start manifesting the whole thing. With this initiation, you can change the size, shape of the organs. Understand? Just this one initiation, if you all master, you can just go on living whatever time you want. Because you just need to alter your organs and rejuvenate and freshen up, that's all. It's like every morning, if you just switch the reboot button, press, control, delete and reboot, over. You go on living. You master the time. I know a lot of fundamental principles need to be understood. Unfortunately, humanity has moved so much away from nature. Even basic few things look so complicated and difficult. Sometimes I feel like I am living in a different world and you are all living in a different world. It is not few feet distance, it is few world distance. Because the cognitions I carry, the conclusions I have, listen, the cognitive shift you need to have for this initiation. Listen carefully. I'll repeat once more. Hinduism is not faith-based tradition. It doesn't demand your faith. It is integrity-based tradition. It means, let me explain. Listen carefully. There are some fundamental understandings about the cosmos. You commit to understand that and be integrated to that. That's all. Some of the cosmic principles. No one owns anything. Only violence is sin. I am not saying you can go and rob. If you rob and that fellow is affected by it, you will incur sin. Because his suffering will create karma for you. But if nobody suffers, there is no suffering at all, you don't get any karma. Understand? You can't say, oh, let me just rob the water of the river. No. In Hindu tradition, even the river is a living energy. So I'm not saying go and rob. All I am trying to tell you is, what is right, what is wrong, you need to know. So you can constantly function based on cosmic principles. Violence is the only sin. Nothing else is a sin. Nothing else is a sin. Anywhere pain is created, only then it is a sin, not otherwise. But if someone blackmails you, oh, don't do that, then I will become painful, that doesn't come as a karma to you. One of my relatives threatened, blackmailed that she will commit suicide if I become a sannyasi. I said, quickly finish it, let me finish all the last rites and then I'll go. I said, quickly finish. I have only few more days to go. Let me finish your last rites and then I'll go. She did not commit suicide. She started screaming, how dare you tell that I should die? I did not tell you should die. You only said you will die. Why should I die? For your sake? I said, I did not tell you to die. That is what I wanted. I want you to live long, happily, happily. I did not tell you to die. You threatened me that you will die if I become sannyasi. In India, we have a funny kind of relationships. It is all about the social prestige. And one of my uncle, I should describe the whole thing in Tamil and translate, only then it will be really wonderful. Because it's an incident happened in my life, very important but funny incident. Now we have to enter into initiation, so later on I will describe this incident. The essence I wanted to convey to all of you, understand. Decision to understand, come to cosmic conclusions inside you and be integrated to that is what is integrity. Listen carefully. Continuously contemplating what is cosmic principle and searching is what is called seeking. Vyakulata, Pratyagatma Chaitanya Chakrata, individual consciousness waking up and searching. Every moment thinking, what is the cosmic principle I am supposed to follow now in this situation? And going on aligning ourselves to it. Now, the power manifestation, the initiation and power manifestation you are going to have, it is working with people, understand? You are going to be healing others. So the cosmic principle for which you need to be in tune, you need to be integrated. Let me heal the whole universe. Let let me enrich and cast the whole universe. Life is for others. Understand? Because whatever you think as you is stinking so badly, it cannot be cleaned now. Decide life is for others. Whatever you think as you which is stinking will automatically dry down. So your idea about you also has become stinking like that. Forget you. Life is for others. With this decision, be ferocious with this decision. Be ferocious with this cognition. Decision to enrich and cast others' reality. Be ferocious with it. Few minutes before entering into initiation, pen down all the incompletions you want to complete, impossibilities you want to break, guilts you want to burn, anything you want to get rid, pen down, even if it is your mother-in-law.
Beautiful. Now let's go to the Shakshi Pramana. Shakshi Pramana are the initiated disciple devotees all around the world manifesting the powers and sharing. Here we have for manifesting the power of Ashta Maha Shakti, power of increasing the size of the object. Ma Prema has told manifesting the powers by the grace of Bhagavan increase the length of Atmalinga. And before and after, you can see the reading, beautifully increase the Atmalinga. Now with this, let's go to the instruction and the Pratyaksha Pramana to start manifesting these powers of Mahima.
Pratyaksha Pramana, scientific studies what can be measured, measuring the effect of being in enlightenment state. Deadlifting. Powerlifting exercises can be harmful to shoulder, lower back, and knee injuries, from muscle strain, tendons chronic to fractures. The deadlift exercise utilizes the entire posterior chain in the body and is considered one of the most effective full body muscle building exercises. However, deadlifts can pose a risk of spinal damage. Deadlifts place force on the spinal disc, especially when done with heavy weight. If you perform these exercises with a rounded or arched back, the amount of disc compression increases substantially and can result in bulged disc, pinched nerves, or other issues. Preparation and step-by-step personal coaching are necessary for novice who wants to lift heavy weight. Charts are given to indicate the average weight one can lift depending on the gender, height, weight, and level of training. Manifesting powers of Ashta Maha Shaktis, power of increasing the size of others. Mahima. How a adolescent from Nithyananda Gurukul can effortlessly uplift double the weight he should be able to lift for his height, weight, and level of training. Manifesting power of Ashta Maha Shaktis, powers to lift huge weights effortlessly, also known as Lagima, power to make things lighter.
The Shastra Pramana, the direct words of Mahasadashiva, where Sadashiva reveals how this Shakti manifests. It is from the Paushkar Agama, Vidyapada, Patala 6. Lagima shigrage vitvam pankadhavapya majjanam Mahima vyapya chasthanam brihadendriyadadribihi. You can take on the stage now.
Yes, so first we have Srinivas, who will be stepping up, and we'll take your weight first and see where you're at, and then we'll compare that number against the lift that you'll be doing. So if you want to just quickly step up and take your weight.
As you can see, Srinivasan Maharaj, a Rudra of the Nithyananda order, is stepping up on the weighing scale. And you will be seeing, as you can see, he is 54.1 kgs.
So 54 kgs. And on the bar, as I mentioned earlier, I got a little excited talking about this, is 115 kgs. And just to put this into perspective, I actually haven't lifted this weight in over 3 years. So what he's going to be doing is something I haven't trained and done in 3 years. And so I'm excited to see this. What he'll be comparing is up against, and again, this is very logical and there's a lot of numbers involved. He's lifting roughly 120 pounds more than somebody that is a beginner, which is completely insane because I'm assuming he hasn't been training. If I don't know how long he's been training for, but I don't think he's been training very long. And so 120 pounds more than a beginner he'll be lifting, and he's lifting a weight that I haven't lifted in over 3 years. So I'll let him take this.
So that's great. Srinivasa Maharaj, you can come up in the front. You can see Srinivasa Maharaj is getting into the position. As you can see, Srinivasa Maharaj has lifted.
I don't mean to be a stickler for form and all this, but when it comes to training, form is everything. You're going to get much more power if you have like exact form. And I can say his form was not correct, but it didn't matter. That's what's shocking, is that you were able to somehow muster the strength without having the correct base.
And Srinivasan Maharaj is just 54 kgs and he has lifted over 115 kgs just like that without any effort.
Power to increase the size of the object, setting up the things. Camera with the timestamp, Jnananjan, the scale or the weight, weighing scale to measure on the app, or the scale which can measure the length of the object, any object that you have chosen. You can have like Atmalinga, or you can have a deity. You can increase the size of the deity. You can choose any object. Take few moments to set up the camera. Download the timestamp, click on the video. See on the screen the timestamp is clearly seen. Choose a place where it is bright and quiet, and set up the camera in such a way you can see the scale, the object, and you, everything very clearly. And these are very precious moments to record the Shakti Avishkarana on a video. Place the object on the weighing scale. You need the app, so please download the app which is shown on the screen for the object to weigh on the cell phone. iPhone and Android versions are shown. Please take a note of these apps. You can download it and make it ready on your phone if you don't have a scale. Guidelines to start recording: turn on the video, apply the Jnananjan in your third eye if you have it, bring your awareness to your third eye between your eyebrows, measure twice on the scale the height and the weight. You can use the measuring app or you can have the regular scale, but please measure it twice so that the reading should be same, and make sure it is accurate within the range. Now sit and gaze at the object gently in front of you without touching it or touching the weighing machines. Through your third eye, change the weight or the length of the object in front of you, the size of the object. And if you have made it heavier and longer, you have manifested the power. If you're just feeling the heat, the Kundalini energy, or if you see just a decrease, that is also okay. You started manifesting. But if you have made it 5 inches or 5 pounds difference in the object, depending on the object size, 5 units to 10 units of difference should be seen before and after picture, then you have manifested the powers perfectly. Measure the object again at the end to get the correct reading and do it twice to get the accurate reading. Verify authentically and share these videos with your family and friends and listen to others' experience of power manifestation.
Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck, and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually, our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shakti Pada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will see in Bhagavan's words what is Shakti Pada.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and our egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hence, sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence. The Shaktipada makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminders. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes these external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shape form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched, by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. You need to understand one more thing. This technique of be unclutched, it does miracles in your being. In the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya, pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness, through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Maha Sadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, So they start manifesting the powers. They start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like, for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving. For all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password. And it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nithyananda. Nithyananda. Maha Shivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye. Again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone. Nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you will be manifesting the powers watching the oneness capsule and chanting the Mahavakya Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Jnana Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Jnana Paramashivam. 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 Om Jnana Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Verifying on increasing the object size. So verify that no editing is done on the Shakti Avishkarana videos. Verify video is not stopped or restarted in the process of manifestation. All videos are verified with the timestamp. All videos have a wide angle view. Make sure you do not touch the object or the app during the process of power manifestation. Make sure you do not tamper the scale or the weighing measuring unit. Do not remove or add or increase. Authentically, 5 to 10 units of change should be seen visibly. Thank you for participating in the power manifestation.
Beautiful. We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar Manifesting Power Groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/power manifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, When you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity, Bhagavan says. The quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra, thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the Power Manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Parameshwaram Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nithyananda.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham